Hey everyone, I hope you liked my last video. I'm doing something a little different in this video. My lovely husband decided to join me for this video. We're doing a Q&A over our first year of marriage. For me, I always knew I wanted to marry this little stud muffin. I think the only time I questioned it was when him and I broke up for a year, and that was kind of hard for me because I just thought that, okay, I'm gonna marry this guy, this is the guy I'm gonna be with. Then by the grace of God, we got back together, and it just fell right back into place, and I just knew that, yep, all along this is who I want to spend the rest of my life with. For you, what's up?
For me, I would say the same. I mean, well, obviously different. You didn't break up with me. No, I didn't. But I guess I would say during that breakup is when I realized that, you know, you were the one for me, you know, because here we are, we weren't together, but I wasn't out, you know, looking to meet other girls or looking to date. The whole time during the breakup, I was thinking about you. So when we got back together, which required me to put in a lot of work, and a lot of time, and a lot of creativity. But after all that, you know, I realized that, you know, you were the one for me. You were the one that God already had, you know, set out for me my whole life. So that's when I knew. With us being 2 years age difference, I knew that I had already graduated college at the time, so I knew it was something important for you. I didn't want to distract you, you know, with, you know, putting on an engagement and all that, and you're still in school working on finals and doing all your different projects. So, you know, I waited until that day, graduation day.
Couldn't wait.
Couldn't wait. So as soon as that day became available, I had it all planned out, made it happen.
And it was cute. This is the man of my dreams. This is the man that God put on this earth for me to marry. So when he popped the question, of course I'm going to say yes. I'm not going to be selfish and think, Stephanie, I don't know if you're ready because you're about to go and embark on your career and your journey, so you really got to put this on hold. No, that's just the devil trying to throw you off. I was actually scared, but at the same time, this was the one I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, so I said yes. We had a lot of, I wouldn't say hookups, but we knew a lot of people in different industries. We knew somebody who was a videographer, a photographer. We knew my uncle worked as a head chef at the hotel we got married at. So we just knew a lot of people, and you know, we don't want to go spend a whole bunch of money, but we also wanted it to be special. This is a day we're all girls dream of one day, so I definitely wanted it to be special, but I didn't want to break the bank.
I would say it required us to definitely put back and save. We actually set up an account just for the wedding where we were taking out money each time we got paid and just throwing it into that account, where, you know, we were sacrificing a lot during the time. You know, it wasn't a lot of going out to eat, a lot of dates and all that stuff. It was more, you know, this is temporary for the big day. And definitely, like she said, with resources, you know, all the people she said, and with my mom, her creativity, working in interior design and helping out with all the different decorations. The
centerpieces were amazing.
So definitely using all of your resources. So
be creative. Pinterest will be your best friend. You will go on there and there's just so many things you can, so many ideas you can get off of that, and don't feel like you have to spend so much money to get the wedding of your dreams.
I would say communication has always been a struggle in our relationship early on and even till today. But since we've gotten married, I would say it has improved. How? It's improved because, you know, after an argument and all of that, you know, sometimes it takes some people days or hours to get to the point where it's like, oh, okay, I see what you were saying. That time is a lot shorter now. I mean, it's more, you know, just after a conversation, cool down, you know, it's right afterwards. It's not like a whole I'm mad at you for the next 2 days and we're holding it in or this and that. You know, it's just coming together, less yelling, more talking, more of a conversation, figure out both sides. So definitely improve.
Submission definitely comes into play because ladies, you know how we can get, and you know how we want to raise our voices and we want to be right no matter if internally we know we're wrong. We just want to prove a point, and we sometimes want to lead, and this is where I have to take myself back. I have to really try and listen to what my husband is trying to tell me, and I have to ask myself, is this argument really worth it? What are we fighting about? Is this something that is really worth getting upset about and us, you know, storming out? Or I usually tend to storm off and cool down, but is the fight really worth it? And honestly, him and I really don't fight a lot. You know, I think what is our main thing we fight about? I would say family, just family time. You know, we come from a very close-knit family. I'm close with my sisters, he's close with his sister, mom and dad, me as well as my mom and dad, and so I think everyone just wants to spend time with us, and we want to spend time with them as well as each other. So I think that's the only thing we really fight about. I don't argue if my husband leaves something laying on the floor, or if he takes something off and leaves it on the floor, because I do it. And but what are you gonna fight about? Don't fight about him leaving the toilet seat up, or if you told him to do. I know you don't do that, but I'm just saying other people may fight about that. I don't know. Leaving the toilet seat up or not doing the dishes when you told him to do the dishes, like, you know, that is small stuff, and you really have to learn to pick your battles and not sweat the small stuff.
Pick and choose your battles wisely.
Yes. He loves sweets. I knew that he liked sweets. I didn't know the extent of him liking sweets. We always have to have cookies, cakes, all that in the household. And I'm more of a salt person. I like popcorn, hot Cheetos. That's what I'll stock up on. And he's more of the cupcakes, and I could do without that.
I guess one of the things that I notice is that, you know, my wife can be a little bit OCD. We can be walking out of the door and then get almost to our cars, and she's like, did I lock the door? Is the door locked? Did you lock the door? Did I lock the door? Are you sure? Can you go check it? Or, you know, she goes through, when we're in the car halfway to the place where we're supposed to go, did I unplug the curling iron? Is the straightener off? And all of that. So, I mean, she can be a little OCD sometimes, but I mean, I didn't know that.
I'm trying to make sure nothing catches on fire, no one breaks into our household, because I would hate for one of those things to happen and it'd be my
before we leave
fault. And I do, I just don't remember. I like freak myself out. There's some people that are like that out there, so they'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Y'all are crazy too.
No, absolutely not, because that's one of the things that you're always going to have your ups and downs when it comes to finances, and you do not want to center your I wouldn't say center your marriage, but you don't want to fight about that. I'm a strong believer that the Lord will bless you. You're going to go through your seasons. You're going to go through your seasons where you're doing great financially. You're going to go through your seasons where it's a little tight. And I think that is what brings us closer together, that we say, okay, you know what? Forget, as long as we have money to pay our rent, to get some food, and to have, you know, if him and I get sick, if we need to go to the doctor or whatever, pay a copay, that's all that matters. All this other extra stuff doesn't matter. I can do without a date night going out to eat. I can cook here at the house. I don't really have to worry about that. As long as our health is fine, we have a roof over our head, we have food. There's so many people in this world that would love to even have a roof over their head. So to fight about finances is something that I just don't think is worth it.
Like she said, I mean, we definitely don't argue about finances. There's been times in our relationship where, you know, I was the one, you know, where, you know, Stephanie's job was paying less, and I was the one that had to, you know, step it up and take care of this bill, take care of that bill. And even more recently, it's been a time where, you know, Stephanie has had to kind of take on that role and, you know, say, hey, I got this. Or, you know, there's been times even more recently where, you know, one paycheck, you know, after she's taking care of all her stuff, she's a little bit broke. I have to step it up. And there's a lot of times where I'm in that situation and she has to do that. So, I mean, it's definitely something you don't want to argue about, especially, I mean, it's not going to help the situation. It's something you definitely have to pray over, because it is an easy argument. It's easy to argue about. It's easy to hold it over your head saying, you know, I do this, this, and that. What are you doing? That doesn't happen.
Having God as the center of your marriage. The only reason why him and I work is because we focus on God first. If God is leading your marriage and your household, what could go wrong? Nothing. So very, very important. Both of you have got to, equal together and individually build that relationship with God and make sure he is number one in the center of your marriage.
Yeah. And for the men, one of the things I would definitely say, and even coming in, even though that wasn't part of the question, one of my weaknesses coming in early on into marriage was being the spiritual leader of my household. You know, it's different coming in where, you know, you're used to normally, you know, praying to yourself and, you know, talking to God about your issues and things like that. Now there's someone else that you have to care for and that you're asking God about, and you're asking him to be a part of your relationship. So I would definitely say, number one, always have God number one first in your relationship. Cracking open the Bible, reading different books about being a man and getting to know God, how to bring him into your relationship, not being intimidated if your wife is more involved in church and knows more about God. You're still the man, she's still looking to you. So, you know, you can lead a prayer, you know, during just for dinner, or you can ask and just bring it up in normal conversation after church. What did you think about this message? Or what did the pastor mean by this? So just sparking the conversation, bringing God into your relationship. If you go to the movies, how about seeing a Christian-based movie? They're making Hollywood's making a lot of those now. So yeah.
And for my ladies, if you feel like you are more spiritual than your husband, don't give up on him. You know, be an example. Read the Bible. Invite him to read the Bible with you. Like he said, invite him to go see spiritual movies. Pray. Most importantly, number one, praying. Not only pray for myself, but pray for my husband. Most importantly, number one, that's my leader. This is my spouse, my best friend. We're one. So praying for him, and instead of nagging him, if there's certain things that I want my husband to work on or whatever, I'll ask God to first work on me to make sure that I'm not praying for something that shouldn't be prayed for. And secondly, pray for my husband. Don't nitpick and nag, and definitely pray.
Yep.
That's all the questions we have for today. We hope you guys liked our video, and if you have any questions, please reach out to us and let us know what else you want us to talk about, if you want us to make more videos together. Don't forget to check out my blog, virtuouswomanblog.com, and I will feature more of this little handsome hunk of mine. So hope you enjoyed our video. Bye. I'm sorry, that lady's like distracting me. I saw someone in the window.
Are you looking in the camera?
Yes.
When you're talking?
Yes.
Okay, I was too. Where are you looking to?
I'm looking in here. I'm not looking over there.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't think I answered. Did I? Yes, I did.
This guy done talking all the time.
Take two.